Prasthaya Bhutale Rupanugapatidam Cha Kripavarti Narayana Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Vilasinho Vyaiva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. First of all, I recognize this number and pronounce. Lotus feet of our most worshipful Srila Gurudev, Nitya Leela Prabhupada Om Vishnupada Shishma Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Swami Maharaj, Gauranga Guru Varga, and all the Sami Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas. Yesterday we didn't finish. We were just reading biography of Gadadhar. So we can continue. Okay? Although last night already Prabhu mentioned like many things. And no harm again repeating it. It's very good for us. And then, yeah, if we finish early, then we continue back to our chapter section. So yesterday we were reading up to we're reading up to that point where after Gadadhar, he pacified Mahaprabhu, not pacified Nimai. One time Nimai was crying, where is Krishna? Gadadhar, it's like in your heart. And you try, like Hanuman, trying to break his chest. Then, in an expert way, you try to calm him down. But I have to be patient, This coming soon, like this. And so Mahaprabhu was pacified. And Mother Sachi saw. So from that point, then Mother Sachi is telling Gadadhar, please never leave Nimai alone. Like always be with Nimai. Okay? And they're always companion. So it said Gadadhar was always there with Mahaprabhu. And really, like all the important leaders of Mahaprabhu, Gadadhar was there. From like even yesterday we mentioned about Jagai Madai. Even that leader Jagai Madai, Gadadhar was there. In Chankasi Leela, Mahaprabhu converted in Chankasi. He was there. In all their Leelas of like Sankirtan, especially the Mahaprakash, there's 21 hour, like last time Mahaprabhu giving flame to everybody. Gadadhar was there. So yeah, yesterday the Prabhu was mentioning also who is his Gurudev. Who's the Gurudev of Gadadhar Pandit? Ishwarapuri. Ishwarapuri is who? He is the Mahaprabhu's Gurudev. But even Ishwarapuri, before he gave initiation to Mahaprabhu, he already met Gadadhar. Because, Mahaprabhu got Diksha from Ishwarapuri in Gaya. But even before that, Ishwarapuri already one time visited Navadvip. And he had met Mahaprabhu there also. But he was staying all time with Gadadhar. He seen Gadadhar, he liked so much reading Bhagavatam. And Ishwarapuri was so attracted to Gadadhar, like mercifully teaching him. He has a book. You know the name of the book? Ishwarapuri has one book that every day he is reading to Gadadhar. And what is that book? You read Krishna Lilamrita. Krishna Lilamrita. Then it was during the time, then Ishwarapuri, when he met with Mahaprabhu, he was telling to Mahaprabhu, you are very big Pandit, no one can defeat you in any grammar and any debate. So you can check my book, like for any mistake like this. Then Mahaprabhu, this time that's his Gurudev. You know, in the future he will be Gurudev. Even from that time, Mahaprabhu already is showing some humility. Mahaprabhu said that it will be offensive to consider, to think that some mistake is there in the works of the devotee. Like that. There may be some maybe some wrong spelling, some grammatical mistake, but because they are from the devotee, then it's perfect. But actually later on, Mahaprabhu is seeing something, and he's telling his Gurudev, I see some mistake. But then this is the only time Mahaprabhu was defeated by someone. That time, no one can defeat Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu correcting even this Pandit, this Krishna Kashmiri, who's directly getting benediction from Saraswati. So no one can defeat him. So even Mahaprabhu correcting him, he reciting 100 verses, straight, very fast. And he was so surprised. Mahaprabhu can repeat something in the middle of those 100 verses, word for word, repeating and pointing out. You're mentioning this. These words are contradicting each other, Mahaprabhu five. Mahaprabhu first glorifying and then after cutting. There are 5 very good qualities in your verses, but then there's 5 mistakes I see like that. He was so surprised. Mahaprabhu, he corrected. But this time with his Gurudev, he was trying also to I said, I see some mistake. But later on, Prabhu said actually this is not a mistake, and he's explaining. Then Mahaprabhu realized that yes, it's true. So then of course later on he met again Ishwarapuri and he got Diksha. So that Ishwarapuri, he was every day reading his book to Gadadhar. So we heard yesterday, Gadadhar, his Gurudev is Pundarik Pujanini, and we already know the story. One time Mahaprabhu, he was calling Bap, Bap, Bap means father. Bap, and he was in mood of separation. And everyone was wondering what happened to Mahaprabhu? Who is this Bap? He's calling father, father, like this. And it was actually later on, then it was known that just today, one devotee came. Who is that devotee? Pundarik Pujanini. And so he said that when Pundarik came to Navadip, he looking like not a devotee, but he's a great devotee. His neighbor, coming from the same village as him, is Mukunda. Mukunda knows him. And so therefore, usually when there's some devotees coming, Gadadhar, he would like to have darshan. Like here, if some great devotee coming, and everybody amused, oh, this Maharaj is here, this Maharaj is like that. And then everyone, oh, let's go darshan, like that. So Mukunda is actually inviting Gadadhar, oh, Pundarik is here. He's like my neighbor, very good devotee. And then already that day, Mahaprabhu already calling him also, blah, blah. Mahaprabhu encouraged him, go meet Pundarik Pujanini. And so then they went, we see, and already we know the story. When he was there, he's saying, what is this? Very, very simple. He never expecting like that, like a devotee having very nice hair and nicely oiled, and not only that, he has servants lining him with peacock feathers, and he has all this golden, his chewing pan and some golden bowl to spit there, like that, like that. Very white. How do you call this? This kind of cloth, very shiny cloth, silk, like this. So there's things like that, devotee, look like a sense enjoyer like this, And looking at Gadadhar's reaction, what's his name? Mukunda, he can't understand. And Mukunda, he's very Kirtaniya. That is his way to reveal the devotee. The same way as Madhavendra Puri. One time when Madhavendra Puri first came to Navadvip also, he's seeing Advaita and many devotees there. He's hiding himself also. He's not showing that he's one sannyasi and like that. He's not also wearing this sannyas dress. But then the devotees can tell, like, he's not an ordinary person, especially Advaita. And Mukunda, to test, and it would be revealed. Then he started like chanting verses like that. And only by this, then devotees, then you can tell who's the devotee. Because naturally, all this mood of like separation, then they will come, especially Madhavendra Puri. He only sing Dark Cloud, then he fall down, he faints. He's remembering Krishna. And now they're reciting verses of Krishna. So the same way also, Mukunda, then he sees Gadadhar had that kind of reaction. Then he started quoting verses from Bhagavatam. Quoting this verse, Aho Bhakiyam Sanakalaputam Siddham Sayapayat Apisatvi Devegatim Datipstatam Datanyam Kam Kimba Dayalum Sharanam Prabhadye Kimba Dayalum Sharanam Prabhadye. Who is the person more merciful than he that I can take shelter of? Like who? Who other than Krishna? So merciful. How is so merciful? He said, Aho Bhakiyam Sanakalaputam, this sister of Bakasura. She's putting poison. This Kalaputam, that is the word for poison. He's putting poison on her breast. Because actually have that desire to kill Krishna. So he's putting on her breast, but he's offering breast milk to Krishna. Just because he's offering breast milk, although poison is there. Then what Krishna do? Giving her a post, she became like a nurse, one of the nurses in Guru. So who can be more merciful than that? And so it's like, then any intelligent person, who would, why would you not take shelter of him? So he said, how amazing. Yes, no, so he said, the instant he heard this verse, then he started crying, Krishna. Then he became mad, fell to the ground, fainting. Then all these symptoms of ecstasy coming. And then what happened to Gadadhar? He feeling like, I have committed the offense. Like I was thinking, he's a sensitive lawyer, like this. So later on he's thinking how I can neutralize, remove this offense. He consulted with Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu actually recommended us, take initiation from him. And really, what does that mean? Now you offer your life, and he's your servant. So Gadadhar is Radharani. Who can be Guru Radharani? Radharani is already the first Guru. Who can be Guru? Who can take that role of Guru Radha? His father. So that's why this Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he is Vishwabhanu Maharaj. Only him can take that role. So now he came as Guru of Gadadhar. So he said that Gadadhar was the constant companion of Mahaprabhu. Whether in Puri or in Navadvip, he was always there. In Puri later on, Rath Yatra, even in their water sports, sometimes even Advaita Acharya was very great. During the time, he becomes like a little kid also. He is fighting with Lord Nityananda. They're fighting with this water sports. You probably will do the same also, like this. So sometimes Advaita would lie down like Mahavishnu. He lie down floating on the water, like this. And who's riding on him, Mahaprabhu or someone else? Like this. So Gadadhar was there, all his activities. He was there during, we mentioned this already, during the Sakura, Hari, Abhav, Mahaprakash, Shivanangan, the Chankazi. Also, he accompanied Mahaprabhu to Puri. Like from the time taking sannyas and going to Puri, he was always there. He joined in cleansing of Gundicha temple, bathing Narendra Sarovar, and so on. Even in Navadvip, during the time when they do drama, they're doing drama also. So, Mahaprabhu doing drama, where was this? In Chandrasekhar's house. So, the first drama, it has like acts, the first act, first scene. This is Mahaprabhu, the first act of the play about Krishna pastime in Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu, he was acting there. Haridas, he played the part of a village constable. What a constable? Like a guard, no? A village guard. Srivas Pandit played Narad Muni and Mahaprabhu played the role of Rukmini. Then in the second act, Gadadhar also dressed as a woman. And at which time, Mahaprabhu telling, oh, he's part of my family in Vaikuntha. So that one also, after that, Mahaprabhu, then he dressed like us, the mother of the universe, that is the Shakti. And he said, breastfeeding everyone. So we know what happened when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, then also Gadadhar, he took sannyas. Actually, not just Gadadhar. It said that actually when during the time Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Swarup Damodar, he was not with that party who went to the Mahaprabhu Puri. Like that party with Krishna, when he heard Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he also became mad. He went to Varanasi and he took sannyas also. Swarup Damodar. Then later on, when he heard that Mahaprabhu now stayed in Puri, then he came to Jagannath Puri. Then he stayed with Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar. Then after that, because Mahaprabhu went to South India, then he went to Ramananda. When Mahaprabhu returned, that's when Swarup Damodar came, and he joined Mahaprabhu. Then after that, Ramananda came, and then they came together. So, but Gadadhar, he was there in Puri and waiting for Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he also took sannyas. And he sees that time devotees, they would come. You know, Puri is a place of Vipralamba. You know, Vipralamba's Kshetra, place of separation. Why? Because we know there Mahaprabhu experiencing world separation. But as far as the devotees are concerned, yes, it's like a place of separation because Mahaprabhu left Navadvip and it's not in Puri. But for the devotees, actually, it's a place of meeting. Because how they can meet with Mahaprabhu? They go to Puri like this. And so, but the only time they can meet with Mahaprabhu is during this Rath Yatra. You know, this Chaturmasya time, then they come. Sometimes for 4 months, they stay with Mahaprabhu. So Puri is like a happy time, staying with Mahaprabhu. But then after Chaturmasya, then Mahaprabhu will tell them, go back to, because Mahaprabhu would encourage them, go preaching. Like Lord Krishnananda, Mahaprabhu telling him, hey, you cannot just stay here like a moon. You have to go to Bengal and preach. Like that. This is my order. So Lord Krishnananda had to leave preaching. So Gadadhar doesn't want that. So he wants always to be Mahaprabhu. Therefore he takes the vow. I'll take Kshetra Sannyas. Kshetra Sannyas means I cannot leave Puri. I'll always be in Puri. I'll be with you. But problem for Gadadhar, because later on Mahaprabhu will go, you know. So when Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, that time, then Gadadhar cannot come. And he tried actually to follow, you know, he followed Mahaprabhu. he will mention here. Yeah, okay, we'll just read it here. So, Gadadhar, he took his sannyas. Where he stayed, you know? Where did he stay? Mahaprabhu gave him the service of the Tota Gopinath deity and told him to live in Yameshwar Tota on a garden. That's where he lived. But actually before that, there was no Tota Gopinath. Right? That's only after Mahaprabhu revealed the story. Mahaprabhu revealed this deity. This place, Tota means garden. There's only one temple there. You've been to Jagannath Puri. You know there's this is Chatak Parvat. When Mahaprabhu is there, he always see it as Govardhan. Like this. So just behind Chatak Parvat, like there's Tota Gopinath here, behind that, there's one temple there. The Mahadev temple. You remember that? Before they don't allow anyone like the Vishnu to go inside. But now they allow. They allow them. You just go down there and they won't say anything. But before you just go in, like just inside the gate, and people will start shouting at you, no, like this. And something you have to do. But that was the temple there. And that whole area is the garden of that temple. That Yameshwar temple. And so that whole garden is Totam's garden. That's where Gadadhar Pandit was staying. So later on, Mahaprabhu, like Prabhuji was saying last night, Mahaprabhu ran and actually calling Gadadhar. He actually was beginning to dig. And Gadadhar came and he's telling Gadadhar, I want to give you something. You will take? Then Gadadhar said yes. Then he opening up, doing more and more, and revealing, Gopinath. And this deity is very unique. You will not find any other deity that is sitting down. Have you seen a deity sitting down? Where? Other than that, I've seen one in South India, but sitting not in lotus. Yeah, because like Pandit was telling, in South India, all deities are lying down. They're all like sleeping. But there's one temple we visited. That first floor lying down, second floor was sitting, and third floor he was standing. And that's very unique. The temple there in South India we visited, probably was there. So, but he's sitting down, but he's sitting like sitting on a chair. But Tota Gopinath is sitting in lotus position. Now, if you look, some people, they were able to sneak in some, picture with the camera, but they don't allow you like take picture. I don't know, like when I first came there, I was not into taking picture like that. Then later on, the pujari was somewhere like here. Like, I gave you this picture. He gave me a picture of Tota Gopinath. The very first time I visited Tota Gopinath. And he gave me that. I was thinking like, oh, this mercy of Tota Gopinath. But I've seen that same pujari. His name is Baladeva Mahamatra. He saw someone taking a picture and he was yelling so bad. Yelling like really very badly. And I was so scared, That later on, like even some, like Singanya Prabhu is very famous in all temples there. Singanya Prabhu, he helped bought the temple, this Chaitanya Goswami, Prabhupada's birthplace. He helped bought that place. He arranged for that. And he's very well known, he's very rich, he's famous in all temples. So they're all his friends. So even him, he's telling Pujari, let him take a picture like that. And Pujari, no. He already gave me a picture, so I didn't like, But anyway, if you see pictures of Tota Gopinath, then you will not see his feet because they're all covered by cloth. And it looks like he's sitting on a chair, like this. Or he's standing because it's like covered like that. No. But if you go there early, after Mangalarti, they'll give darshan. Are you been? Even
Yeah.
like they will show you, but you have to give some donation. Yeah. So they made it more systematic now. Like first darshan, the left foot, then or the right foot, and the second darshan, the left. You know, like one at a time. They will only like raise one claw like that, and then go down and come back again. Then they raise the other one, and you can see. And you see both feet. It's actually like, because it's not like, you know. And if you think about it, if you are Krishna and you're sitting up there, then you're like, oh, you're telling everyone, come, then you're taking Krishna's dress, like, look, like this. You don't have to do like that. So they're just following etiquette. Okay, here, he look at his feet, like this, and darshan on his feet, like that. So you can consider that's mercy of a pujari, like this. So that's only early in the morning after Mangalarti, before they give bath to the deities. So you can see like very special form this deity sitting, and you cannot imagine. Although now with the technology, someone may be able to carve like this, but this is self-manifest. Mahaprabhu himself like manifested this deity. So this deity very special. And later on, when Mahaprabhu disappeared, he entered into this deity. So this is like Mahaprabhu's samadhi. You know, Mahaprabhu is there like this. But this deity is very special. And we're going to explain like why Tuka Gopinath is sitting. You know the story. Like this, you know why Gopinath, this deity is sitting. We're going to explain that when the gopis during Rasalila, they were with Krishna, they're enjoying, Rasalila. Then Krishna disappeared, right? So what happened? Then everyone became mad, separation. Whereas Krishna, they're looking here and there, like this. And they're not finding Krishna. And so they're completely feeling hopeless, like this. And what happened? Then they started singing Gopi Geet, right? Expressing their moods. They're singing Gopi Geet. Then after singing Gopi Geet, then Krishna cannot anymore hold himself. Like he actually became like feeling guilty. Like why am I like torturing the gopis? So he appeared again. And then everyone became very happy to see. And if you read, actually that chapter, Sanatana Goswami's commentary, then he's actually explaining more like who are these gopis who welcome Krishna. Is it like the groups of Chandravali? The right-wing gopis, they are very submissive. They're immediately the ones, immediately approaching Krishna and getting his arm, massaging his arm, getting his leg massaging, like that. They're very submissive. But Radharani's group, they're staying from far away, like this, and only looking with sidelong glance, looking at Krishna, like this, not saying anything. And Krishna, although he's there with some gopis, his mind is not on these gopis. His mind is on that group, from far away, like looking at him, like this. And anyway, everyone offering seeds. Like when someone guests come, first thing you do, you offer some seed, give some water to drink, like that. So they offer their uttariya, their veil as a seating place. There's so many of them, so they're big asana. And Krishna sat there, and he's sitting there with a very guilty smile. Very guilty smile and very beautiful. Sakshan man mata. Like directly like millions of cupids. That's so beautiful. Like this. And what happened? And even bewildering actually cupid. So he said, Gurudev said, that is Tuka Gopinath. He's there sitting with a guilty smile. And what did he say? He said, Napariyam, everybody Samhidam. You know this verse? You know something with verse? That Krishna is saying that I cannot repay your love. Like taking the role of an ordinary person. Like generally an ordinary person can live only how many years? But he said, even if I live like a lifespan of Lord Brahma, And like the Brahma has very long life. Like just the day of Brahma is already 1,000 cycles of the 4 yugas. You know, that even when I live a life of Lord Brahma, I cannot repay your love. In other words, he is actually accepting, like if we are competing, you know, like who has greater love? Like my love cannot equal to yours. Like this. And so he's saying, you won. Like I accept defeat. So this is Mahaprabhu's. He actually revealed this deity. When we say deity, usually deities are only revealed by the devotees. You know, someone who has access to that world. You know, like I always give this example. Like if so many times I give this example. Like if there's a special event, I just give an example today. Like if there's, like say, a wrestling event, there's Ashirvad and like Sham, the wrestling, and Sham beat up Ashirvad like this. Like that time when Sham, like, you know, like punched Ashirvad like this, then someone took a picture and shared it in like Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, WhatsApp, and showing everyone, look, this is like how Sham punched like this. And everyone like, oh, like this. So actually, the devotees, they are in that world, in the spiritual world, and they are serving a specific like aspect of eternal time, you know. And, they have their own like relation with Bhagavan in a certain way. So they are trying to like, it's like taking a picture of that world and sharing it to the devotees, to the ordinary jivas. So like Panam Gurudev, he manifests this Radha Vinod Bihari, very special deity also. Like Krishna, not Shyama Sundar, but golden, like Radharani. Why? Like he's showing that he is in that particular department of service where he's seeing this Krishna. That Krishna who is like so much intensely in love of Radha that he's actually like, you know, like having the same complexion as Radharani. And that's only happening in that very high stage of their loving relation. We call the Prem Vilas Vivarta. You know, where they're actually completely mad that he begins to think that I am Radha, and the other way around. Or sometimes when Krishna is trying to pacify, or he's feeling some separation of Radha because Radha is in man, then Krishna completely absorbed like in Radha mood. Then like Mahaprabhu now, he's golden. So that's Radha Vinod Bihari. So he's serving that kind of Krishna, absorbed in Radha. Or when Krishna is embraced by Radharani in their meeting, and so happy, and now experiencing like, you know, like so much this absorption of love of Radha. His complexion also becoming golden. That Krishna, that is the Krishna like Param Gurudev is serving, and he's revealing to the world, but this is my Ishtadev, Radha Vinod Bihari. And then giving entrance for ordinary jivas. And those who have given Diksha, and now having relationship with him, then it's like he's taking them, okay, now this we're serving, you're assisting me in service, like that. So in the same way, Mahaprabhu, he's revealing to this world, he's the one who revealed this special deity of Tota Gopinath. And in a way he's showing that anyone who's very serious and really like developing some banda, you know, and now having that mood of separation, like the gopis, so much intense mood of separation, then Krishna will sit in their heart, like the Gopinath sitting, he will sit in their heart like this. And what else? Here, Mahaprabhu himself, he is Krishna, but he's coming here for the very purpose of showing how great Radharani is. And that's why he's giving this form of Tota Gopinath, wherein he's sitting with a very good smile and actually telling Napariham or something like, I'm defeated by the love of the gopis. I cannot repay your love. That is what the Gopinath. That's why his name is Gopinath. So generally our understanding when we say Gopinath, meaning, he's not, he's the Nath of the gopis. That's why it's called Gopinath. But with this understanding, like a deeper understanding, then we can actually say, no, actually what it means is that the gopis are his Nath. He just accepted that, I cannot repay your love. I am indebted by your, by your love. I have become so indebted, I cannot repay it. Like this. You know, when someone is indebted, it's like, I'll become your slave. You know, like, you are my Lord. Like that. So now, it's like, that Krishna is called Gopinath. Because his Lord are the gopis. Like this. So Mahaprabhu is revealing that, this very special deity of Gopinath. And he's revealing this as a way to repay Radharani. Now Radharani is there, Gadadhar, you know, and he said, look, Gopinath, you take care of Gopinath, and Gopinath tell him, he cannot repay Radharani. Radharani now, in this mood of a devotee, and like this guy is a devotee, now Mahaprabhu telling, you serve him. So that's how Gadadhar got Gopinath, and he was taking care of Gopinath. On one occasion, when Gadadhar heard that Nityananda had come to Puri, he invited him to come and take the Gopinath Prasad. Nityananda accepted his invitation and brought some fine rice from Bengal as an offering for Gopinath. Gadadhar cooked the rice along with leaves and vegetables from the Yameshwar garden, where he was offering the foodstuffs to the deity. Mahaprabhu also appeared there, giving him great pleasure. The three of them joyfully took prasad together. This is calculated in Chaitanya Bhagavat, where in the Antyalila, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, the 10th chapter. What happened, actually, Lord Nityananda, he was sent by Mahaprabhu to Bengal, and he was preaching there for some time. But then later on, when Lord Nityananda came back, and you can look, this is a good, Lord Nityananda is Baladev, he's a Gandha. He's showing us example really. And he's showing this example. When you come, never come empty-handed. You're always coming with some presents, like this. So now he's coming, and he coming to visiting Gadadhar and bringing gifts. What are the gifts he's bringing? He's bringing cloth, he's bringing some very nice rice, all from Bengal, like this. And this is to serve Gopinath. So then we just heard last night, cooking, Pandit cooking very nicely, and prepared feast. When he was actually getting ready for feeding Lord Nityananda prasadam, they actually have only 2 plates for him and Lord Nityananda, like this. But then Mahaprabhu came and telling, Gadadhar, did we fight? Were we fighting? Why are you not inviting me? Why only Nita here? That is. You're never calling me today. No one informed me there's a feast here. That is. And then immediately Gadadhar arranging. Look, in Krishna Lila, we know Baladev, he never go when there's Radha and Krishna meeting together. Because, he can disturb the mood, right? Radha and Krishna meeting together, then we know Baladev is elder brother of Krishna. So then Krishna will be ashamed a little bit, but Radharani will also be ashamed. So then, before maybe they're joking and nicely, when Baladev comes, then no more talking, because they're shy. It's the same way also like Mother Yashoda and Nanda, if they're together, then Krishna and Radha, they'll be a little hesitant to talk to each other like that. So that's natural in Krishna Lila like that. But not in Mahaprabhu Lila. Baladev and now Baladev is Nityananda. Gadadhar, Radharani. This time, Gadadhar and Nityananda together. And Krishna and Mahaprabhu coming together, there's no problem. Why? Because one thing in Krishna Lila, many rasa is there. Many rasa. There's Dasya, Sankya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. And especially Madhurya, for Madhurya to fully manifest, sometimes some other rasa, they can create some disturbance. And that's being avoided. And those who are sadhak, like especially those who are experts in relishing rasa, then they know this, and they avoid these rasavas. But in Mahaprabhu Lila, there's no this thing. In Mahaprabhu Lila, only one rasa. So what is that? Only Dasya rasa. We don't think that Gadadhar is having Madhurya rasa for Mahaprabhu. No. It will be like weird, like this. But his deep love is there. But that rasa is Dasya rasa. He said all rasa is there is Dasya. It's all Dasya rasa. And therefore, no conflict. Like they're together. Why? Because they're all there serving Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu can relish Madhurya rasa for Krishna. So Mahaprabhu only him have for Krishna. This Madhurya rasa. He's having this mood of Radharani. And everyone like is there to assist in that rasa. Only this rasa. So when it comes to Gaur, Gadadhar, Nityananda, don't think it the same way as like Krishna Lila. Like, oh, I cannot put Nityananda together with Gadadhar and Gaur. No, you can put. We have Panchatattva there, we are all there together. Like this. So it's not like that. There's no rasavas there. And actually, in this chapter, it actually talks about there that those who disrespect Nityananda, he actually tells her that Gadadhar, he loves Nityananda so much. Anyone who disrespects Nityananda, then Gadadhar will never accept them. Like this. And anyone not accepted by Gadadhar, Gaur will never accept them. Like this. And also those who don't accept Gadadhar, Nitai will also not accept them. So it's all there. So you have to please like all of them. So this Panchatattva you cannot make like separation. And the whole problem is there. Like especially the time when Mahaprabhu disappeared, then there's all these different like sampradaya. And they're all coming like, oh, we are descendants of Gadadhar. And they disrespect Nityananda, they disrespect Advaita. And also some from the dynasty of Advaita. Then they also like, oh, disrespect Lord Nityananda or disrespect like Gadadhar. Like this is the effect of Kali Yuga. Like that. This nature of trying to like divide and like, showing competition like that. But later on, this was all reconciled. Who? By who? Of course, our Goswamis were not directly there to reconcile everything. But they have written all, like, what is the proper siddhanta as far as like becoming followers of Mahaprabhu. They've written all the books, and but they're all written here in Vrindavan. But later on, all these teachings were brought to Bengal by who? By Narottam Srinivas Shamananda. And under the authority of Janava Thakurani, the wife of Lord Nityananda, then this was established. And by this, then all these followers again was united and beginning to understand, oh, to become followers of Mahaprabhu, this is our philosophy, this is our siddhanta. So, Gadadhar, he took this Chatta Sannyas. So I was just telling, he had this problem when Mahaprabhu, when he wanted to go to Vrindavan. He said that Ramananda Roy and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya used all the means to their disposal to try to stop Mahaprabhu from leaving Puri. You know. But on the third Chaturmasya after his departure from Navadvip, all the Bengali devotees came to Puri with their wives to see him. So Mahaprabhu not able to leave yet. Then after the Rath Yatra, then we know the story, all the devotees came. Then they asked Mahaprabhu even, He said after Gundicha temple and cleansing of the Rath Yatra, and then the Rath Yatra, the devotees returned home. Before they left, then they asked Mahaprabhu, he said, like, who is a Vaishnava? How we can know who's Kanishta, who's Madhyam, and Uttam? They're asking the question. Huh? And Mahaprabhu has actually like different answers. The first year, the second year, the third year. Like that. But in essence, Mahaprabhu is telling that, oh, anyone who chanted even once name, he is Kanishta. And he is worshipable. He is great devotee. He is Kanishta. But anyone who's constantly chanting in this madhyam, but someone who's just by seeing him, one automatically is able to chant, then he is Uttam. But this has to be understood what it means, because that's why Namacharya, Haridas Thakur, is called Namacharya, because we have to learn from him all this Namtattva. Because it's easy to misunderstand this. Because Mahaprabhu said, anyone who chants even once now, then he is worshipable. He is Kanishta. Like that. So then don't think of it the same way as what we say, like Kanishta means, the like materialistic devotee, who's worshipping, who only knows how to worship, worshiping deities, but he doesn't know who's a devotee. Actually, we're not talking about that in that level of Kanishta. Not that Kanishta. Because this is actually, it all starts from Madhyam. That this one who's chanting one's name, he's devotee. This Kanishta, the Kanishta, as far as the definition of someone who's good in worshiping deity, but he's really, he doesn't know who's a devotee or not. Actually, he's not really a devotee. He's almost like a devotee. He's like Bhakta Avas. He's not really a devotee. So here the question is like, who's a devotee? Who's a Vaishnava? So Kanishta, they're not really devotee yet, but they're being honored as a devotee only because they have some faith. Only because of that. But here, we have to understand, and this is what Namacharya Haridas Thakur explained. When Mahaprabhu said, someone who chant once, name, that means Shuddhanam. When he says name means Shuddhanam, real name. When he says Namabhas is not Shuddhanam. Namabhas. So actually, he said even once, you chant once, not real name, that means a Shuddhanam. He is a Vaishnava. He is worshipable. That is. So that is for Mahaprabhu, that is the standard of the Kanishta. But that means he's a real devotee. He has chanted. That means anyone who chants Shuddhanam, that means he has Sambandha. Only if a person is Sambandha, they are able to chant. So that's really the platform of Madhyam. That's Madhyam Adhikari. But someone who's chanting constantly Shuddhanam, then that's a very high class devotee. But the highest class devotee of Adhikari is someone just by his presence, you also chanting Shuddhanam. That's very high class. So this is Mahaprabhu's standard, his liberation. So he said with Mahaprabhu, like later on, he showed determination. I will need to go to Vrindavan. Then finally he said the devotee gave him permission, and it was chosen when he will leave, that is Vijay Dasami. So then everything was arranged. King Prataparudra himself arranged for a nice road for his journey. But this is the problem now for Gadadhar. Because he cannot come. But still, Gadadhar, like he tried to break his vow. He left Puri. He tried to follow Mahaprabhu, but he can only follow up to Kata, like the border there from Odisha. So he cannot tolerate separation when he wished to remain with Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu reminded him of his vow. his vow to remain in Jagannath Puri, and forbade him to go to Braj. Gadadhar said to him, Jagannath Puri is wherever you are. My vows remain in Puri, my vows to remain in Puri can go to hell. Gadadhar said like that. Mahaprabhu again told him not to abandon his service to Gopinath. He said, but you are to serve Gopinath. But then Gadadhar answered, serving your lotus feet is worth 1,000,000 times serving Gopinath. He's actually like very determined. When Mahaprabhu said, if you abandon your duties to Gopinath, you will get fault. And Gadadhar answered that he was willing to take that responsibility. But he would not, and he said, I will not disturb you. Okay, I will only follow you, and I will also go visit your mother like this. You know, he's like being stubborn and try to go. Ultimately, when they reached finally in Kata, then Mahaprabhu called Gadadhar and said, your decision to break your vows and leave your service has now been a reality. Like, okay, you've done, okay, you've really done like this. But look, then like in Ram Lila, you know, he said, and look, if you come with me, you will be happy. But you should consider, will that make me happy? And this is now, okay, what is the consideration of someone who really like loves somebody? Do you want your own happiness or mine? That is Mahaprabhu telling to Gadadhar. And Mahaprabhu said, it will make me unhappy if your vows to remain in Puri and your service to Gopinath is broken. That will make me very unhappy. If you want my happiness, then return to Puri and take your vows again. Then that's it. Like Gadadhar collapsed. You know, and he had to tolerate that. So then Mahaprabhu had to ride the boat to cross the river, and really Gadadhar cannot follow him more. And now he came back to Puri. So, but no, that time is only short time. Mahaprabhu, how long? Okay, sometime Mahaprabhu had to travel for many months to go to Braj, but he didn't stay long so much in Braj. He only stayed 2 months here. He cannot stay long also. And Buddha explained, there's a reason, this is all Lila. There's a reason why Gadadhar cannot come with Mahaprabhu in Braj. You know, I told already yesterday, right? Why? Because Gadadhar is Radharani. Although he's not, he will not appear like Radharani, but just his presence, because he's Radharani, just his presence with Nita or with Nimai or with Gaur, then it will somehow pacify whatever separation mood you'll experience. So therefore, like he should not be there, and he should be there to experience like everything. When he was in Braj, so much separation. When he said when you were in Jagannath Puri, already so much this like intense manifestation of separation. No? Sometimes he would rub his head on the wall like that, separation. His blood perspiring like this. His bones are like becoming how do you call this? Like dislocated or like this. Like that, all the symptoms, like very extreme. He said when he was in Vrindavan, it's like 1,000 more, like so much more, deep separation, like that. And so that's why his servant was like, oh my God, like, he cannot stay long here, otherwise big problem. When he was in Radhakund, then he was just like, in Yamuna, and he would just like jump in the Yamuna. And no, they have to like look for him and save him, put him back. And that's why they like, oh, we have to go back. So then Gadadhar, then they get to Gadadhar. No problem. Jai Shri Radha Jai. So, but when Mahaprabhu disappeared, and that's the like the climax of separation. And Gadadhar had to tolerate like that, disappearance of Mahaprabhu. He tolerated for almost like a year. I mean, he didn't stay long. So sometimes it said that Gadadhar became too old, and therefore he cannot anymore offer garland to Togopinath, so he sat down. Like that. But really, Mahaprabhu left 48 years old. Gadadhar is only 1 year younger also, and he left 1 year after. He's almost the same year as Mahaprabhu. That's not like old. But it could be from separation, like old. But really, from the beginning, like Prabhu has explained that from the beginning already he's sitting down. That's the speciality of that deity. And so he said that the only reason Gadadhar stayed, and this is according to Bhakti, because he was waiting for Srinivasa Acharya. Mahaprabhu actually gave him this order. We will have to train up Srinivas, and with the Bhagavatam. So in Bhakti Ratnakar, it says like that. That's the only reason he waited. So then later on, when Srinivas came, Gadadhar, he saw Gadadhar Pandit so much in like very, although effulgent, but you can see so much separation. But when he sees Srinivas, when he introduced himself, he became like alive, because immediately he remembered the order of Mahaprabhu to train him up for Bhagavatam. But one big problem, the book is gone. I mean, the book is there, but it's all like, it's like rotten, because he's crying too much, and it's all wet and now broken. So then he told Srinivas, can you get another copy of Bhagavatam? So he had to go back to Bengal for this Bhagavatam. But when he came back, Gadadhar already gone. Like this. But imagine that, he could have been trained by Radharani. But yeah, but then it didn't happen. But no harm, because the next one to train him was the maidservant of Radha. It could have been Rupa and Sanatan, but before he reached Braj, Rupa and Sanatan also disappeared already. But when he arrived there, Jiva Goswami was there. Jiva Goswami is the disciple of Rupa, and therefore he trained him. So, not different from the Manjari and Radha. Sometimes the Manjari, they even know more than Radha. Because Radha and Krishna, too much in ecstasy, they don't know what's happening. Although the Manjaris, they actually experience more ecstasy. But how can they serve if they, if they're also in ecstasy? Actually, they're there in the background and serving. So they know everything that happens, more than Radha and Krishna. So they can tell all these things. So Srinivas got trained by Jiva. Later on, Narottam and also Shamananda. They were all trained by Jiva Goswami. Anyway, so Gadadhar Pandit, he also disappeared on honeymoon in the month of Jeshta. That is in the month of the same time of the Rath Yatra, just a day before Rath Yatra. So, yeah, there are so many things to talk about, but this outline. Jai Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Pandit ki jai, jai Jai Gopal